I can't underscore just how disastrous the drug war has been. We've been at this for 40 years. It's our longest war. We've spent $1 trillion. We've had 45 million drug arrests. And what do we have to show for it? A record of abject failure. Drugs are cheaper, purer, more available than ever before. And we have the world's largest prison population in real numbers, 2.3 million people behind bars, and of course more of our citizens behind bars than any other nation as well. And so you look at the numbers and they speak of such a tragic error and misguided policy that the question is, how long will it take until it dawns on our policymakers what the American people, I think, increasingly know, which is that this is a gigantic waste of money at a time where we can't afford a waste of money, and it is denigrating a cross-section of our population, particularly minorities and particularly poor people, particularly people of color, and has been doing so for decades to the incredible detriment of that community and the detriment of ourselves and our standing in the world. How many of us know somebody who's an addict? And is our natural response when our friend comes to us and say, I've had a relapse or I'm hooked on this substance or that, is the first thing we do to call the police? No, it's just not common sense. It's not what any of us would do. We would try to find a soft landing for the person, a medical person or a help group or an anonymous group or something. We would try to find something that actually helps that person find a path forward. So none of us would really, with what we now know about addiction, which is far more than we knew 40 years ago, with what we now know about all of our addictions, we all have addictions, none of us would see that that's the right way to do it. So now the trail of failure, the economic disaster of it, and our own sense that we've come of age and it doesn't make sense as a public policy, that's all coming together to mean that the public taste, which demonstrated itself in Colorado and Washington and those victories, and then in the California victory about 3 strikes, all of those demonstrate that the public is shifting in their sense of this as a priority. And hopefully they're shifting to remember that drug abuse is and always was a health matter, a personal health matter and perhaps a public health matter. It was never a matter for criminal justice. It was never appropriate to send somebody who has an addiction into the arms of a police officer when they should have been sent into the arms of a doctor or a healthcare professional. We could learn that now because I think the American people are more ready for it than ever before.